Guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I know it's been a little extra in the intro, but I was feeling this here, you guys. So today I'm going to show you guys how I achieve this hair color. It is super easy and it's beginner friendly. So it's a beautiful pastel cotton candy situation. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video yet, but yeah, if you want to see how I achieve it, then please continue to watch. Alright, so let's get started. So to achieve this hair color, I'm going to be using some Klaiyi's hair. And this is my first time using their 613 hair, so definitely check out some reviews on this hair. I've used their natural color hair before. So I'm using a 613 frontal, and I have some bundles right here. They're 24 inches. I'll put all the hair info in the description bar down below. Alright, so this next step is somewhat optional. You don't have to do this step, but I'm going to use my Blonde Brilliance Temporary Color Care Cool Blondes Lather and Toner, and I'm just going to place that in a bucket of water. The water doesn't have to be hot or cold, and I'm going to place the hair into the water. So this is the frontal, and this is just going to pull out some of that yellow, so I'm toning the hair. The only thing with this, you cannot leave the hair in there for too long or else it's going to come out like really silvery. I mean, if you're going for that Klaiyi silvery white hair, then yeah, you can leave it in the toner for a little bit longer. So I only leave it in for about 2 minutes, and I repeat the same steps with the hair bundles as well. Alright, so now for the fun part. These are the colors that we're using today. We're using the Adore brand. I'll list all the colors in the description bar down below. I love this brand because it's really easy to work with. It's very pigmented, and if you're doing the watercolor method, this hair dye, this brand is actually really good to use. Alright, so we're going to be doing the watercolor method today. It's super easy, it's stress-free, it's beginner friendly. I want to do something really easy for you guys. So I have my 3 containers here, and I'm just putting a drop of the hair dye into each container because we're going to be doing the ombre effect, and you want to make sure you use some hot water. So I'm throwing in some hot water into my containers, and I'm going to go in and just, you know, mix that around with my hand. You can use something else. The water was already pretty hot. I don't know why I'm using my hand. So for each of the container, I'm going to apply some hot water to that and mix the colors around. You want to make sure that you use a small amount of dye to start off, especially if you're going with pastel shades. The more dye you use, the more pigmented the hair is going to be, and the longer you leave the hair in the watercolor, the darker and more intense the color is going to be. I didn't want my hair to be super dark or intense. I really want it to be like really light pastel shades. So I'm just putting in my first bundle into the water, and it wasn't as pigmented as I wanted it to be, so I just add a bit more of that dye into the water, and I'm just going to, you know, make sure all the color gets distributed throughout the hair. I'm loving that shade of blue. It's so gorgeous, but I want to make that just a little bit brighter, so I put the hair back into the water. As you can see, I did not put the entire hair into the water because we're going to go for that colorful ombre effect today. So now I'm going to apply the other section of the hair that I want to be pink. So I'm going to put that into the cotton candy. This color wasn't very pigmented, so I had to apply more dye into the water as I go along. And as I mentioned before, the more dye you add, the more intense it gets. So if I was to use the whole bottle, it would be pretty intense, but that's not the look we're going for. Alright, so now I'm going to add the ends of the hair into the watercolor, and it's okay if you let the colors touch. It gives it a really nice gradient ombre effect, and I'm just adding a bit more of that dye. So I'm using the periwinkle and the soft lavender mixed together. Okay, so I'm happy with the color. I love how it looks. I love that nice ombre effect. I love the pastel shades. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to do the same thing with the frontal. Well, not the same thing. So for the frontal, I'm only going to be using 2 colors. I'm going to be using the baby blue shade, and I'm just going to add some more of that dye again to get it a little bit more pigmented and get the blue exactly how I want it to be. So I pretty much leave it in the water for maybe a minute or 2, and then once I'm happy with it, then I move on to the second color. So now we're going to do the second part, which is the cotton candy shade, and I'm just going to color the tips. I didn't want to add the lavender shade on the tips of the hair because the frontal is not very long. It's not as long as the bundles. The bundles were 24 inches and the frontal is only 20 inches. So I thought it would look kind of weird with the colors being lavender at the tip and then the longer. I don't know if that makes any sense. I just thought the color would look a little bit weird, so I went with 2 colors on top. So for the rest of the hair bundles, I'm going to repeat the same steps that I did with the frontal. So I'm only using 2 colors. So I'm just using the baby blue and the cotton candy shade for the rest of the hair. I think it's going to look really nice when you blend them all together. So this is what the end results look like. This is the hair when it's air dry. And I'm going to go ahead and start making my wig. So I'm not going to be doing the full wig construction on camera. I do have a lot of videos on how I make my wigs. I'll list one of those videos in the description bar down below. And I'm also going to be posting a very detailed one very soon, in a couple of days actually. So I'm just going to make this wig quickly off camera and I'll show you guys the end result. Alright, so I completed her. My wig is all done. She's looking good. I'm feeling it. Like, she's looking like cotton candy. So I already blow dry and straighten it. Like, I was here for this color. Like, seriously here for it. I love pastel shades, by the way. Alright, so moving right along. Oh, my camera's out of focus. Miss Fame is forever stealing the spotlight. She's in the background. Okay, so I already applied my wig off camera. I also have a very detailed video on how I apply all my wigs. I will link that video in the description bar down below. So if you're new to wigs and you're not really sure, you can check that video out. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and drop some curls in it. You guys see how the hair looks straight. I want some curls, but I don't want it to be like super curly defined. Pretty much basic lazy girl curls. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my flat iron and I'm gonna be curling that hair away from my face. Now I find that with this hair it was a little bit on the dry side, so that's one thing that I wasn't really happy about with the hair as far as how it felt. It was just a little bit dry and it was a little hard to run my flat iron through it. I mean, I'm not the best when it comes to styling my hair with a flat iron, but yeah, I was trying. Anyway, so I add some hair serum to that and I'm using the Ion hair serum and I just applied all over my hair, and then I'm gonna go ahead and complete my curls. And yeah, I didn't do anything too crazy with the hair, but yeah, this is pretty much the end result. I really love the color. I love how everything turned out. If you like this and if it was helpful to you, please give me a thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know what you guys want to see next. I'll see you in another video very soon. I love you guys so much and thank you for watching.